What if I told you that the way you answer emails, the way you lead meetings, the way you handle responsibility is just as spiritual as lifting your hands in church? What if worship wasn't just something you do on Sunday, but something that you live out on Monday? Because most people think worship is a song, but what if worship is actually a standard, a mindset, a way of living, a way of showing up? What if your excellence, your discipline, your integrity is a form of worship to God? What if heaven is not just watching what you say, but watching how you work? Today, I'm going to show you something that will elevate everything that you do. Your work is not separate from your faith. Your work is worship. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Dave Martin Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Dave Martin Podcast. I'm Dr. Dave, your success coach and your host of the podcast. And I want to see you become everything God created you to become. I want to see you accomplish all that God has designed for you to accomplish. And today, I believe we're about to shift how you see your everyday life. Because if you'll get this, nothing you do will ever feel small again, okay? So before we jump in, again, make sure you subscribe to our channel here. Make sure you share this with someone else. Just take a minute and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to build this so we can impact and help more people. So help us by sharing it, sending it to someone else, okay? Listen, there are people right now who feel like their life is just routine when it's actually sacred. I want to deal with the idea of worship. Let's talk about worship. Most people have defined worship really narrowly. When we say worship, people think music, singing, church, hands lifted, and that's all part of it, but that's not all of it, because biblically, worship is not just what you say, but worship is how you live. Romans tells us, Romans 12:1 says, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. That's true and proper worship, not just your voice, your life. Worship is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. And now let's connect it. If worship is how you live, then your work now becomes part of your worship. Colossians chapter 3 says, whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart. Not some things, not spiritual things, whatever you do, your job, your leadership, it includes all those things, your decisions, your responsibilities. If God says whatever you do, then nothing you do is insignificant. That means how you show up matters. How you work matters. How you handle responsibilities matter. Because work is not just output, it's expression. Look at Satya Nadella, who took over Microsoft. Company wasn't failing, but it wasn't thriving the way it could. Culture was rigid. There was silos that existed. People were competing internally instead of building together. And here's what's powerful. He didn't just change strategy, he changed culture. He emphasized empathy, collaboration, growth mindset. And over time, that shift didn't just affect performance, it transformed the entire organization. Stock value increased dramatically. Innovation expanded. People began to thrive again and again. And here's the key. He didn't do it from a pulpit or a platform. He did it through leadership. Some people worship with songs. Some people worship with how they lead. And both matter. Listen, excellence is spiritual. When you show up on time, when you follow through and do what you said you were going to do, when you operate with integrity, when you pay attention to the details, when you go beyond what is expected, that's not just professionalism. As a believer, it's worship because it reflects character, discipline, honor. Excellence is not perfection. It's intentionality. Look at Amazon. When Amazon was growing, they weren't perfect, right? I mean, systems broke, orders got delayed, processes had to be rebuilt. But here's what set them apart: they were intentional. They obsessed over the customer experience. They asked, how do we make this faster? How do we make it easier? How do we remove friction? And every small decision mattered. Packaging mattered, delivery speed mattered, user experience. None of those things were perfect in the beginning, but they were intentional. And over time, that intentionality became excellence. Excellence is not doing everything perfectly. It's doing everything on purpose. And that's the shift, because some people are waiting until they feel ready or until everything is perfect before they raise their standard. But excellence doesn't start when things are perfect. It starts when you decide to be intentional. So whether it's how you write the email, how you lead the meeting, how you follow through on the task, you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be intentional. Honestly, perfection is unrealistic. But intentionality, well, that's a decision. So let me challenge you. Some people want God to elevate them, but they're casual about what's already in their hands. But God doesn't bless carelessness. He blesses stewardship. Let me give it to you like this. If you can't handle what you have, then you're not ready for what you want. Promotion doesn't come from desire. It comes from demonstrated trust. Because how you work reveals who you are. Not what you say, not what you post, not what you claim, but what you consistently do. And consistency is where identity is proven. You don't reveal character in the big moments, you reveal it in the repeated ones. Pressure doesn't build character, it reveals it. And when pressure hits, you don't become someone new. You show what you already are. And that's why your work matters so much, because every environment you're in is revealing something. Not just your skill, not just your talent, your character, your mindset, your values, your discipline. Pressure strips away performance. No time to rehearse, no time to filter, no time to manage perception. Just wasn't really in you. Pressure doesn't introduce you, it exposes you. Great example, Bara. Here in Detroit, where I'm at, is where GM is headquartered. Well, when she became the CEO of General Motors, almost immediately she was thrown into a crisis, a major safety issue, vehicle recalls, public scrutiny, lives impacted. This wasn't a slow ramp up to leadership. It was like pressure from the first day. Now watch this. She didn't deflect responsibility. She didn't hide behind the company. As the leader, she stepped forward. She owned the issue. She communicated clearly. She took decisive action. And in that moment, the world didn't just see a CEO. They saw her character. Crisis doesn't create her leadership. It reveals it. I have a small group and a coaching program that I offer, talking to leaders about how to handle crisis, called Unexpected Bird Strikes. It highlights how to manage in crisis when the birds strike your engine and you weren't expecting it. How do you lead the plane? How do you handle things from that moment on? Because it's how we handle the unexpected, how we handle the crisis that really defines true leadership. Because under pressure, what's in you is going to come out of you. And some of you, that's exactly where you are right now. You're in a season where things feel intense. Deadlines, expectations, decisions. You feel stretched. But what you're feeling isn't just pressure, it's exposure. Not to shame you, but to show you what's really there. Pressure is not your enemy, it's your indicator. That's why your work matters. Because it's not just producing results, it's revealing who you're becoming. Every challenge, every conversation, every difficult moment. It's showing something. How you respond, how you lead, how you handle pressure, all of it. It's revealing your foundation. So instead of avoiding pressure, start paying attention to it, because pressure is showing you where you're strong. It shows you where you need growth, what's really leading your life. When pressure shows up, don't just try to escape it. Learn from what it's revealing. What comes out of you under pressure was already in you before it happened. Let's take it a little higher. So, some people separate faith and work. You think church is spiritual, work is practical. But that's really a false divide, because God is not just present in church. He's present everywhere you go, every environment you step into. You don't leave your faith at the door, you carry it into the room. That means that your meetings matter. Your leadership matters. Your decisions, they matter. Because you're not just representing yourself, you're representing something much greater. People may never come to church, but they'll watch your life. They may never sit in a service. They may never hear a sermon. They may never open a Bible, but they watch how you live your life, how you respond, how you speak, how you handle pressure, how you treat people when it is inconvenient. People don't listen to what you say, they study how you live. And your life is always communicating, even when your mouth is not. Your consistency, your excellence, your integrity becomes your witness. Not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but every day, in every environment. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility creates influence. People don't follow what you say, they follow what they see repeated. One of my favorite leaders to study is Billy Graham. What made his impact so powerful wasn't his preaching. I mean, his preaching was great, but it was his integrity. For decades, no scandal, no compromise, no inconsistency in character. And because of that, when he spoke, people trusted what he said. Why? Because his life backed it up. When your life has integrity, your words carry weight. You're in environments right now where people are watching you at work, in conversations, how you handle stress. They may never say it, but they're paying attention. They're watching how you respond when things go wrong. They're watching how you treat people who can't benefit you. They're watching how you lead when it's difficult. People are forming opinions about your faith based on your behavior. Your life may be the only thing. It may be the only sermon that person ever hears. And that sermon is not preached with words, it's preached with how you act. It's demonstrated through your actions. It's in your patience, in your excellence, in your restraint. It's how you show up, not when someone's clapping. It's revealed by how you live. Because here's the truth. Anyone can say the right thing, but not everyone can live it consistently. And consistency is what separates influence from noise. A moment can impress people, but consistency transforms them. So don't underestimate your life. Don't minimize your example. Don't overlook your influence, because every day you're preaching something. And the question is, what message are you sending? Before people believe your words, they'll evaluate your life. Here's where everything changes. When you start seeing your work as worship, you stop needing recognition, because now you're not working for the applause, you're working for purpose. You don't need validation, because you know I'm honoring God with everything I do, with how I live. And when your purpose is clear, validation becomes unnecessary. Now your job isn't draining, it's meaningful. Now your responsibilities aren't frustrating, they're forming you. Your environment isn't random, it's strategic. Where you are is not accidental, it's intentional. When work becomes worship, ordinary moments now become sacred. Everything I do under the Lord. Emails become opportunities. Meetings become moments of influence. Decisions become acts of honor. And now you don't wait for spiritual moments, you live in them. Your work's not separate from your faith. You're anointed. Your work is your worship. I hope this is helping you. I hope this is helping you to look at your Mondays a little different, your Tuesdays and your Wednesdays. And if this is speaking to you, make sure you share this with somebody else. Make sure you subscribe, and we're going to get back into this a little bit more next week. But drop a comment. Drop a comment. Tell me where you're from, where you're listening from, and lastly, let's declare this together. Come on, say it with me. Are you ready? My work is my worship, and I will do it with excellence. My work is my worship. Now, next episode, we're going to be talking about what the marketplace anointing actually is, how to recognize it in your life. I'm telling you, I'm excited about the next episode, so I hope you'll join me. Everything's going to start becoming so much clearer next time. I'll see you soon.